Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell. Hello, hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. It is Relationship Monday, and our topic for today is behaviors that destroy relationships. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive at 5 with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, Marquita Bass and I discussed take control of breast cancer risk factors. You can head on over to YouTube and type in Intellectual Radio. Stay connected for any episodes you may have missed. The quote of the day is, if you don't heal what you hurt, you will bleed on people you didn't cut. We are grateful for our sponsor on today. We have Emanuel Church of God in Christ with Pastor Michael Richardson, who has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emanuel COGIC at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emanuel COGIC-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson, and we're from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
If you are tuned in on any form of social media, like the show, share the show, and invite someone else in on the show that you feel may benefit from this valuable information. Co-hosting with me today is none other than cancer activist, motivational speaker, and the founder of the Gal Foundation, Rizal Gilmore, aka The Biz. Hey, Rizal.
Hey, Lady ReShell. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Can you believe that I just felt like the other day when I said we'll be saying Happy New Year. We're only 1 month away from saying that. This year flew by yet again. This time is going by so fast.
I don't even know where the time went this year. Yeah, so fast. But I'm not gonna complain.
Hey, can't complain, but I'm damn sure trying to slow it down somehow, some way, somewhere. Somebody scream. I don't know.
Going too fast. We have a hot topic today, a juicy topic today that I know is going to bless some souls on today. Greetings to Tia. She said kingdom greetings. The topic,
Tia.
She said it's flying by for sure. It sure is. It sure is. Our topic today is behaviors that destroy relationships. And Rizal, I was sitting back thinking about what are some of the behaviors that I have done that I know for sure have destroyed relationships? So I want both of us to share at least one that we know that we did and it kind of destroyed the relationship. So I'll go first, ladies first. So I was dating this guy, but texting another guy, in communications with another guy. We was texting back and forth. And the other guy, so I never put a lock on my phone because it's just I don't really have anything to hide and it's my phone, right? So he goes to the phone and I'm like, no, he says, let me see your phone. And I'm like, why? He's like, let me see. I was like, okay, here you go. Whatever you find in the phone, I don't question me about it. Once you look at something and you find something, it's a wrap. So he looked at it and he was like, okay. And the funny thing is, it wasn't anything incriminating, but it was just the fact that I was in communication with somebody else, another guy, when I was dating him. And so he wanted to discuss it afterwards. And I'm just like, I'm good. I'm good. So, yeah, that was me.
Well, I mean, can you be in communications with a person? I mean, if he was doing something for because I'm in contact with people all the time, but doesn't mean something is going on. So you could have been in contact with this person and nothing was going on. But I know the way that you're telling the story. Yeah, you did it. You own it.
I think it depends on like what was said and how people take what was said. Because sometimes people can joke and say stuff, and y'all have this type of relationship to where it's not going outside of the text. But if somebody else reads it, they be like, okay. So, and sometimes people are looking for stuff, they looking for any little thing to get out of a relationship. So it could have been one of those cases to where, oh, okay, I'm looking for it because why would you come in? And if I never given you a reason, I don't have a lock on my phone. So it's not like, okay, I'm hiding anything. You can go through it at any time. So it's like sometimes people are looking for reasons to get out of some things because they don't have the courage to say, I don't want to be here no more.
But see, it's like, because they say I have my phone is like Fort Knox, but it's like this whole Diddy situation. Don't come knocking to my door unless you got substantial evidence that's going to incriminate me. Don't come asking, let me see the phone. Like, what is that? We're not in high school. You ain't going to be coming asking me, let me see your phone. No, you do that to your kids or whoever.
Yeah. And I never, it's not like I'm like, oh, this is my phone. It's like, okay. And I was paying the bill on the phone. So if I wanted to say, no, you can't see this phone, this is my phone, I was just like, okay, whatever. Because I felt like, okay, there's nothing really to hide in the phone. So if he wants to see it, he wants to see it. Okay, there you go.
But sometimes it don't make a difference. They will find the littlest thing that's nothing and make it out of a big something. And why go through that headache and that aggravation? Like, trust me, sometimes it's just not worth it to go in there, because then it becomes, what's this? What's that? Who's this? Why is it? Nah. Now I'm feeling interrogated from you're in my personal space. Question. Nah.
She said, not Fort Knox. People are nosy. And I just had the feeling that maybe that wasn't the first time that he went through my phone. I just didn't know it. Again, I never put a lock on the phone. So it was like, okay. And the reason why I did put a lock on it, again, because I wanted there to be some level of trust there. So it's like, okay, you know how people have their phones and if y'all together, they put the phone down, it's facing the other way. So if anybody calls, they won't see it, So like I didn't have that type of mentality. It was just like, okay, whatever. I felt like I didn't have anything to hide. So if you look through the phone, okay, go ahead, whatever you find. That's okay.
However, so it's like however you take it, that's how you're going to take it, because you're not going to explain nothing. You're going to interpret it. The person's going to interpret it however they're going to interpret it anyway.
And I should have known something was up because I'm just telling myself, because I was asleep, first of all, and it was like 3, 4 o'clock, 5 in the morning, and he had a key to my house, and I don't know why I didn't take this key back, but he had a key to my house, and he never really used the key before. And that night he used the key. And I woke up to him. I just sensed like something or somebody was hovering over me. And I woke up and then he was standing there. And I'm just like, oh, wow, what? I was like, where'd you come from? And I didn't really think anything of it. And then he just was like, give me your phone.
Nah, see, that's
caught me off guard, but I was just like, I'm asleep, like.
See,
what?
that's the behavior while we're on this show right now.
It's like, what's really going on? So I kind of figured like maybe something was going on in his mind, and then he figured like, okay, I'm gonna catch up. I don't know if he thought somebody was there, but if I'm not gonna give you a key to my place and somebody else is, at my place,
right? Being knowing that you can come anytime.
She goes, Tia said, well, if I'm married, right, you can come at any time. I didn't have an issue with that. Tia says, well, if I'm married, I can look through my husband's phone and he can look through mine. Now, Tia, not all married people feel the way that you and your husband do. Girl, they treat their phones like
Fort Knox.
Yeah, and some of them don't even have the passwords to their spouse's phones. They feel like, no, you don't need it. For what? This is my property. And yeah, it is your property, but it's like, what do you have to hide? What is it that in your phone that I shouldn't know? That you wouldn't want me to know?
Well, again, maybe it's not that I have anything to hide, but to go through the aggravate, because say you have a spouse who jumps to a lot of conclusions because they see things. You don't want to go through that headache. And if I have to keep proving to you over and over, right there is telling me that, what, this relationship ain't gonna last because there's some insecurity, something going on there.
Yes.
So why would you want to go through that headache and it turns into an argument when I could have just said nope and live to fight another day?
Yes. And I started to say no when he said, give me your phone. I started to be like, no, it's my phone. But I'm like, why am I going to be arguing with this person? Like, this is, no. If this the rabbit hole you want to go down, let's go down this rabbit hole. Tia said, but now when we first got married, that was a hot mess. She said it was a hot mess when they first got married. So I think you have to grow to get to that point to where you do trust that person to where it's
right.
not, yeah.
And he probably didn't have a lot of things cleared out, because he's used to having them there or whatever. And, and she felt, and Tia probably felt some type of way because those things are in his phone. And it's like, well, you're a married man now. You need to get rid of this. And, and I'm just, just saying. And he's probably gave a little pushback, like, hold on here, this is what's going on here, this is that, and it could have been it could have been, a little turmoil in the beginning, like she was saying, but yeah. Correct me, Tia, if that's not how it happened.
Hey, Lisa. Tia said trust had to be built. Took some time, but trust factor is a process. It really is. It's not an overnight thing. And I think people think it is. No, you have to build up to that thing. Like, and then once you get there, it's like, oh, okay, I don't need to go through his phone. Like, I trust that whatever's going on in that phone is not going to do any harm to me. But some people, you never get there with them.
But, and it's always the phone. It's like, oh my God, the phone. Back in the day before cell phones was power, we wasn't going through all of this. You had to pop up at a person's house or actually maybe if you had them on three-way, get caught up. But cell phones are the devil.
That's true.
They are evil. It's too much social media platforms. It's too much you can do. It's just too much. They've given too much.
So don't leave me out there, Rizal. I just revealed one of my darkest, deepest secrets about destroying a relationship. So now it's your turn.
I think on this one.
It does. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think my guilt was probably putting myself out there and loving two people at the same time. And it was very hard because, I wasn't getting something from one and the other was giving it to me. And then, understand this. A man is going to go where there's peace. So if you're giving me chaos and you giving me all this hell and blah, 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 and this and that, I'm not going to want to be there. I'm checked out. I'm gone. And if that other person is giving me peace, that's where I'm going to want to be. If they're making me happy, making me smile, doing everything that I like, that's where I need to be. But at the same time, I feel that I was invested with this other person, not to just get up and leave them like that because we have history. So I think my guilt is like trying to love two people at the same time.
That will destroy a relationship. It would. Yeah, it would. But I don't. You mentioned something about if you don't have peace, you go. I mean, I think that's a man or a woman. If you're not getting peace in a relationship and it's constant chaos, you're going to seek elsewhere where you can get that peace. Even if you have to sit in your car for an hour before you go in the house. All
Oh
right.
yeah, if you don't want to go in the house, nah, that relationship is over. You should be happy to be home. And if I'm not happy to be home and I'm thinking of excuses to get back out of the house, yeah, that's no good.
Mm-mm. Tia said, whew, loving two people. Man, is it possible? Is it possible to be in love with two people at the same time and love them? Well, you're not going to love them equally.
Well, I think people feel as though that if you're committed to one person, that you should only love me. Like I am it. That's just like there's always going to be somebody more attractive than you. So, a person is going to look, whether it's man or woman. So you can't just say that I'm just going to be in love with just you. You never know where you're going to find love, and you don't know who you're going to fall in love with.
Oh, wait, hold on. Now, we in a relationship. You should be able to be disciplined enough. Yeah, you see somebody that looks good. Oh, okay. In your mind, you ain't got to voice it out, unless you with your girlfriends or something. Girl, you fine. Oh, she hot. You don't have to act on it. So it's about being disciplined. It's about having control. You should not be falling in love with somebody else if we already in love. Like, you shouldn't be open.
Yeah, not that quick. But again, if there's chaos, it could go down. There's a door, there's a window, there's a possibility.
There is.
What they say, the grain of a mustard seed, it only takes this much. Be Pope alive.
A little window, a little crack, just a little crack. Wow. Tia says, after that juggling, yep, I remember that before marriage, destroying a lot of relationships, shaking my head. Ooh. I don't even want to get into the juggling. Okay. But yes, it's a lot. It takes a lot out of you to juggle two people. It's deceitful.
But it's going to take more to deal with that one person.
You think so?
Let me see the phone. Why don't you doing this? Remember the change? We're talking about change behavior. So the minute she think that I'm changing my behavior or I'm doing something different, oh, it's an argument. It's a big argument.
So you think if you're dealing with two people, you're not going to even be concerned with her phone because your mind, you somewhere else anyway.
You may not even care. Oh, you want to see the phone here? I don't even freaking care because I'm almost out of here anyway. I told you, when you get to that point when you don't care, you have already moved on from the relationship. You're not there anymore. You're concentrating on that other person. We just gonna call her Olivia Pope.
Olivia Pope. Tia says yes. All of those spirits, theirs and mine's. Wow. There's a lot of spirits in here. All right, I want to watch this video real quick, you guys, before we run out of time. We always run out of time when we have these conversations. Behaviors that destroy relationships. When do I want to play first? Let's do this one.
Woman is liking another person's pictures on Instagram, on TikTok, whatever. Or if you are giving attention to somebody else, even if it's a double tap, and they say, oh, it's not that serious. It is. It's the most disrespectful thing you can do. Imagine liking a person, even if they have 1 million likes. You are liking somebody else's picture. You know what you're doing. You're opening the gateway for that person to pop up their phone and see who you are and may slide in your DMs. That's what you're hoping. A lot of you guys think it's normal. Oh, it's okay. I just like, no, this isn't normal. If you are liking somebody's picture, you are disrespecting your partner. You are sitting there liking somebody that is half naked on social media, and you think it's normal, you think it's okay, and they're not happy about it, but you continue to disrespect your partner. You should be single until you realize how much of a disrespect that is. We have all made that mistake, but you also have to learn from them. Liking somebody else's picture is only opening the door for them to hit you up. The disrespect of some of y'all thinking it's normal and it's okay, it's not that serious. Shut up.
Why you play this clip? Why did you play this clip? Who is this Jack? Beep. I'm a censor my own self for the night from here on. Tell me I don't know what the beep he is talking about, but I totally disagree with his dumb beep.
What?
I totally disagree with him.
Why do you disagree with him? He's saying that you should not be liking someone else's pictures. It's disrespectful if you're in a relationship, if you're married, and here some woman is naked, she got her butt to the camera, her breast is all out, and then you on there like it's most of the time it's like a thirst trap, and people fall for it.
Okay, that's if you're liking those type of pictures, but there's more than just those pictures. There's plenty of tasteful pictures that's out there, and when I like a picture, it's for a reason. Whether, say, we want to use you for an example because you're here. I know your story. I know your journey. When I see you're smiling, you're doing good, whether you with your daughters, I know what you've been through. And then when you post a picture showing like, hey, me and the girls is out today, I feel good. Boom, because I know your story. I know what you've been through with the girls and how much trouble they put them through. So I'm going to like your picture because I know things that other people aren't seeing, not because you're half naked, not because you have or whatever it is that you said, but because I know you personally and I know your journey and your story. So if you had no clothes, even if you had just a bikini on and you was ashamed of your body 5 years ago and you worked out all this time and got it together, again, I know your journey. I know your story. I'm happy now that you can post pictures and look the way that you look. I'm not looking at you, the person, because you're in a two-piece or whatever the case. I'm looking because you came so far and you made it happen because you were so upset with yourself. You were so down. You was putting yourself down because of where you were. And now you're sitting in a position where you're just like, I made it. I did it. So this is why I disagree with him, because if you don't know the story or the person, sure, it's hundreds and thousands of women that's on Instagram, but they're all doesn't. If I don't know you, I don't even tag along. I don't even do that. So again, okay, just had to get that off my chest.
Well, we had to disagree on this one because I would not want let's say my husband or my significant other. I mean, you know what? I'm not really insecure like that to where if he saw a picture now, if something's going on, say she's on vacation or something, she posted, oh, I'm over in Italy having a good time, something like that. But if she's half naked in the picture, or even if it's a headshot and she's sitting there smiling, like, what is it that you like about that? Without that backstory, because there's so many that don't have a backstory to it that are liking pictures. And is it as innocent as it seems? It's just a like. Like, it's just a like. I ain't with her or him. I'm not sliding in the DM. But this guy said that it leaves room for them to slide in your DM. And how I know this true, because men slide in my DM. They like my picture, and I'm like, oh, he's liking a lot of my pictures. Then all of a sudden, hey, what you doing? You single? You want to go out? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I see what it's doing. So it does happen. I can screenshot it, put it up there, but I'm not going to. So I don't know. I feel some type of way about it, and then in a way I'm like, that's petty. It's just a picture. But I think it depends on who the picture is. Who the person is.
See, I think likes were good, but the hard eyes was dangerous.
Who's doing hard eyes?
Yeah, see, the hard eyes was something. This girl told the hard eyes was something else. Like you putting hard eyes, the emoji with the hearts in the dive now that's a whole nother level. Now you looking now, now we can bring forth what this guy was saying, but just to like, Me personally, I don't care. Like him, hey, you like to smile, no problem. You like because his eyebrows was well maintained. Hey, like away.
I don't know if I don't go around just liking men pictures. Like this guy's video. Now I mean like his video. Yeah. So that is still a like, right? I'm clicking on the video, I'm saying like. So like stuff like that.
So he put another video up. Oh, he gonna know that you about to slide in his DM.
He may think it, but it ain't gonna happen. I ain't got time. Lisa said, I don't think there's anything wrong with liking an ordinary picture. However, you know when you're falling for the bait. And sometimes people will bait you. They put pictures up there and they know people gonna be in their DMs. They already know. And that's what they want.
Yep. They want them they want that following so they can get that don't they give you money or something if you're like some type of like ambassador or something? I don't know, whatever. But
you can be an ambassador for different organizations or brands. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I want to play. So me and Rizal disagree on that to a certain extent. So I want to play this.
We did have both two good points. So
okay. So I want to play this other video real quick.
Number 1, criticizing your partner in public. Number 2, not respecting your partner's boundaries. Number 3, not listening to understand, but always listening to react and not paying attention to your partner. Number 4, withholding affection, both physical and emotional. Number 5, refusing to accept responsibility for your actions or the things that you did wrong. Number 6, blaming your partner for problems in the relationship and blaming them for your unhappiness. And number 7, not making time for your partner. When you make time for the person that you love, you show them with your action that they are important and they mean something to you.
All right, you guys, before we go into that, I'm sorry, let me remove it. Before we go into that video, you guys, we are live on Intellectual Radio. And I have with me co-hosting is Rizal Gilmore, aka The Biz. I want to highlight one of my sponsors, which is Gloria Dotson with Mary Kay, and she's catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe. You can hit her up at marykay.com/GDOTSON and let her know that Warriors Talk sent you. And Warriors Talk is always looking for individuals to share their testimony. You can inbox me, I'm ready. And you can be my guest and you can educate and empower individuals with your story. All right, we're back. And we're going to talk about this video. Now, he made, 7 points about destroying a relationship. And the first one was criticizing your partner in public.
I can agree with that one. You should always wait to your home behind closed doors to say what you need to say, unless you just got one of them partners that's just, I'm sorry to say, she or he is just dumb and you have to say something. But other than that, hold the tongue.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything while I'm there. I would give you the look like, it's home.
Yeah, when them eyes go from left to right and the head get a little slight half turn, yeah. We know.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely get the look. Cadillac says one is definitely a no. No, I don't agree with disrespecting anybody.
Look, Cadillac unslipped up in here.
Yeah, I don't believe in criticizing anybody in public. I feel like nobody should know, even if y'all having a disagreement, nobody else should know about it. And then because you open the door and invite people in on it for them to give you their opinion on what's happening. So if y'all got to step away from the event, be like, okay, let's go so we can deal with this. Because if y'all not going to be able to treat each other right while you're there, that's how I feel about it.
That gotta be a serious thing to leave the event. Shoot, what if you at the New Edition concert and you disagreeing that BBD should have came on second instead of Bobby Brown?
First of all, I'm not going to be at the concert with my man. That's a concert you go to with your girls, not with your man, because he wouldn't understand. So Number 2 is not respecting your partner's boundaries. You have people that do this.
I think this goes back to like the phone thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mhm. Even not calling me after a certain hour because I'm trying to get my sleep, or um, it could be your car. Like, I don't want you driving my car. Some people, some men, a lot of men don't like women to drive their cars. So it could be that. It could be something really simple, but it's still their boundaries, and you should respect them. No, you agree?
I do agree.
All right. Number 3, we discussed not listening or paying attention to your partner.
Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one. See, if even you smiling about that's a big one. Not listening or paying attention, especially the not listening part. And like you said, that people will listen and hear. See, people have selective hearing. They hear what they want to hear. They'll take the most negative part about the conversation, and it's like they don't hear nothing else but that one negative part, and that's what they go in on. They don't listen. They just listen so they can rebuttal and reply back to you about that one thing. But you didn't hear the whole rest. You didn't hear me when I said X, Y, and Z, but you heard this. And that's what they go in. Yeah, the listening and not paying attention to yeah.
This one is so crucial because, especially when you first start dating and as you're getting to learn that person, you can learn a lot about how to cater to that person if you're just listening, right? Taking notes, writing stuff down. So when birthdays come along, you want to celebrate that person or encourage that person, then you can do little things to do that. But if you're not paying attention to that person and you're not um, picking up on what they're saying or how they're feeling, then this could go left really quick. The reason why I laughed is because I dated someone and I used to talk to him and I could just tell by his eyes that he was not interested in anything I would say. It was like, but when he talked, like he commanded attention. But then when it was me, it was just like,
Oh, don't go with the start with the rolling of the eyes and the facial expressions and all of that when I'm trying to talk to you. Oh man, that's a put 'em up type of thing. Like that right there will burn a person up.
Lisa said, yes, listen to react. It's not good. It's like Rizal said, they're listening to respond. So whatever you said after that keyword that they heard, they ain't hear nothing else. It's just like when he's finished, I'm going to let him have it. I'm going to let them have it. Cadillac said, well, you have to listen even sometimes when you don't want to because you might miss something important. That's what I said.
That's the way it should be, Cadillac, but that ain't the way it goes. We know that. We all of a certain age here and know good and well it doesn't always happen that way.
Mm-hmm. So the next one was withholding physical or emotional affection. Wow. I think if you love someone, how could you?
Well, here's the thing. Now, I remember a situation when I was in Jersey with the girl who I was dating, and she said because she felt as though whatever the situation, I forgot what the situation, but she felt as though that I was doing her wrong, so she would withhold from the physical and the emotional. It's like our team was now broken up because of some BS. So yeah, I guess I can relate to that one. It's not right, but it happens.
Yeah, I mean, we know, I've talked to a lot of women who if you make them upset or they don't agree with something that's happening or y'all get into a fight, they're going to withhold sex.
Mm-hmm. Like you would say, you're punishing him and yourself.
Man, I'm not about to punish myself. Like I can still be mad with you after we do
That
it.
might bring y'all back together. Shoot.
Right. With a woman, you're not gonna forget the issue. You're gonna be like, okay. And this this is what I want
See,
to
that's the problem. Y'all don't know how to let things go sometimes.
sometimes some things don't need to be let go. Sometimes it needs to be discussed so that it won't come up again. So you just have to find the right moment to discuss it. And if it's at that moment when you finish and he's in this state, and then you just bring it up.
Well, I can guarantee that y'all bringing it up because he ain't bringing up Jack.
I
He ain't bringing up nothing. And y'all be the instigator on that when to keep going back to the same thing. Like, then we just had this conversation last night, last week, last month, and we still on this.
that means something was not resolved. So even though you feel like, oh, we had this conversation, I'm good, and it's like, if we still talking about it, that means something is not right. That means more needs to be discussed because that person doesn't have peace with it.
To know, because now you need your satisfaction met from the conversation, and this is why we keep going on, because you trying to get down to the nitty gritty of things or whatever, just to find out where I'm at, and I'm trying to move forward with the situation. You want to pull me back into the thing from last week, last month, whenever the time frame is. Why are you holding on to stuff?
So you don't want to belittle your partner's feelings and telling them, "Oh, get over it. It's enough. You should. What? You still talking about this? Like, no. You still have."
Again, that be the chaos. Keep bringing up that old stuff. Ooh, I got the perk for the, and yeah, we keep bringing up that old stuff. We ain't never gonna be able to move forward.
This is the next one. It says refusing to accept responsibilities for your actions. This is a big one.
Yeah, if the men out there is anything like me, we're stubborn, and yeah, sometimes I refuse to accept responsibility, even when I'm dead wrong. But I come around eventually.
The next one is blaming your partner for problems in the relationship.
Oh, hell yeah, I ain't gonna blame myself.
Your fault. Yeah, you know what? It's so easy to manipulate someone and make them think that is your. I think a lot of narcissists do this, and you look up and you be like, "What? Like, how did this get turned around on me? This has nothing to do with what I did. Everything to do with what you did." But I think so. If someone was constantly blaming me in a relationship, I would address it with them, and then if they keep shutting me down, I'd probably be silent, and then just start removing myself from the relationship.
Well, there may be some things throughout that conversation, if you listen, that could have been because of you. You know, well, why did you do it? Because you keep bringing up the past. You keep bringing up old stuff. There could have been something, and I told you I don't want to. Whether I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to deal it. But you want to keep going on and on and on. You're not being my quiet. You're not being my place where I need to be.
No, both of us need to have peace, not just the one person. So if I'm constantly coming to you about an issue that you think is resolved and is not resolved, then we need to talk about it. That means there's something going on that hasn't come out yet or that's being dismissed, and it needs to be resolved so that we can finally put a period on it.
But then even after the period, you still bring it up. So now you throw little jabs and shots after it has been resolved just to make me remember. So there come the sarcasm and the sarcastic remarks and stuff.
Some people do that. Kelleck says, well, some people always want their way, right or wrong, which isn't right. Somebody got to have their way.
Kind of like that actually made sense.
Somebody got to have their way.
Uh,
This is a big one for me. Like this will destroy a relationship with me with somebody is not making time for your partner. This is my number one love language. Quality time is my number one love language. And if I'm not getting it and I keep telling you that I'm not getting it from you, then guess what? Somebody else will get it. I will remove myself and go where I'm wanted.
you would go find that peace.
Not even peace. I would just remove myself from you. And it may not be in another relationship. I would just be like, okay, this is he's not hearing me, evidently. If quality time is my number one love language, and I'm telling you this, and I'm saying quality, not quantity, because some people get it mixed up. Like, oh, well, I was just with you 5 days a week. What was we doing 5 days a week? I was with you while you was working, but you weren't paying any attention to me. You just dragged me along with you. Like, I'm talking quality time.
So you're talking like date nights, maybe watching a movie on the couch, things like that.
Us having just sitting, having a conversation, just quality. It could be, and it could be an hour versus this long drawn out day to where we're not really interacting and there's no quality involved. So that's a really big one for me. And I just figured out in my 50s why this is a big one for me. Because my father, he was a great provider, but he wasn't the type of father that spent quality time. Like there was no, okay, you guys, come on, let's get together and go out to eat, or let's go here and do stuff like as a family quality time, or as a father and daughter quality time. Like I never had that, but I will give him his props on providing for the family and us not wanting anything as far as material or anything as far as to live, food, clothes, and shelter. But when it came to spending quality time, he didn't do that. So I think that's why quality time is at the top of my list.
Mm.
Yes.
Well, I mean, well, I would say if you're married and you guys live together, somewhere, sometime down the line, you should be able to find some time to do.
Marriage, yeah. I mean, marriage is different. I mean,
I mean, if you're dating and he doesn't have time for you, yeah, you're probably going to find interest elsewhere. Somebody who's going to give you the time that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because they's like, oh, remember, I had her on layaway, so do messing up. It's my time to shine.
What about this one? Comparing that person to other people, or maybe other people you've been with.
Yeah, that's going to be a no. That's going to be a no. Yeah. Yeah, I could see how that behavior can definitely ruin a relationship, because nobody wants to hear about what you used to do and what that person used to do. You're here with me now. It's about what we're making, what we're doing, what we're building on. And all you can do is just retract back to what this person did, meaning that you're not thinking about me and us. You thinking about you and them. And that becomes a big problem, because how am I supposed to move forward with us if you ain't thinking about us?
That's true. Let's see what Kellogg said. He said it's not good to compare. It's not. And I would say if you're not with that other person, you're not with them for a reason. So if you feel like you have to continue to compare and that person doesn't live up to that, then you don't need to be in a relationship. Maybe you're with the wrong person.
True.
He says everyone is still different. Your mind might still be on them, and that's okay.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it's okay if your mind is still on them. It's just that, okay, I'm going to remove myself from this situation so you can continue to think about them and not push that negativity off on me. I'm the type of person that I will remove myself from the situation. Like, I'm going to take myself out of the running.
I mean, I think well, it's not sad. Some people sometimes don't realize when they're doing it. You know, they may think they're just saying, hey, well, such and such was 200 pounds and now they're down to 100 and they look great. Look, here's a picture. See? And, you know, making the other person feel bad. Like, well, you're comparing me to her because you want me to look like her and I'm not her. So I think sometimes some people just don't know when they're doing it.
That's true. I can agree with that. What about avoiding being vulnerable with this person? You just don't ever open up.
Avoiding vulnerability. No, I ain't got a story for that one.
You say you don't.
I don't got a story for that one.
You want to be with somebody who has, I want to say, I guess, empathy for you. And if you're going through something, you want them to be able to, you know, be vulnerable enough to be like, I feel what you're going through, and open up to you and share stuff with you. And you don't want to be with somebody that's like, it's like a robot almost, like they have no feelings at all. Nothing. They never open up to you, don't share anything with you. It's like,
well, that's it. You got to be careful who you open up to, because sometimes they'll take what you told them and use it against you, that next argument that come up. So you can't tell them everything until you know their behavior, until you know who they are, how they move, how they think, because it's the next argument. It's not going to be fair. Well, that's why blah, 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 blah. Oh, now you throwing that up in my face. Oh, I don't. So yeah, no, that one's just not me. I can't just open up to you. I'd rather just sit silent and try to figure it out myself first. Other than setting myself up to become a victim later behind your shenanigans.
All right, this is the last one as we wrap this show up, and we didn't get through all of them. I have about 20 more left to go, so maybe we'll do a part 2. So being overly protective or jealous.
I really don't understand this one. With this one, hold up, Nikki. I'm an Aquarius. You ain't gonna sit here and say that's an Aquarius. You ain't gonna put that on us.
She knows it. She knows it. Yes. She's
Made me just lose my train of thought. What was the thing? Get Nikki off of there. Nikki, darling.
Being overprotective or jealous.
Okay, yes. Being overly protective. Okay, now you put her back up there. Okay, being overly protective or jealous. Spanish men are the most jealous and protective over their woman that I just do not get it. I've never been jealous or overprotective about a woman. Like, you just can't do it. It's like women, they can't look, they can't do, it's like they can't do nothing. Half the time I feel bad for them. And like I said, the Spanish men are the worst at it. I've seen it. They come into my boutique and it'd be other men in there. And I've had almost quite a few altercations almost happen because the Spanish guy, "Oh, you looking at my woman, blah, blah." Who cares if he's looking at her? Obviously, you must have something good if he's admiring what you have. Be thankful for that. Be grateful that you chose somebody that everybody wants to admire. Don't be getting upset, starting fights over this shit, because you never know. We pull out guns down here in Florida.
I can. All right, Rizal, give us some words of wisdom as it relates to behaviors that destroy relationships.
Ooh, these behaviors. You cannot heal if you keep going back, touching the wounds that caused it. Leave it alone.
I like that. I encourage you not to go anywhere. Coming up next is Pillow Talk with God. I will leave you with these words of wisdom. Love shouldn't make you feel like you're walking on eggshells. Remember to exercise your right to vote tomorrow. John Lewis once said, too many people struggled, suffered, and died to make it possible for every American to exercise their right to vote. Join me next Monday right here on Intellectual Radio at 6 p.m. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell. Co-hosting with me today is Rizal, a.k.a. The Biz. Warriors Talk is changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.